Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another episode of the Dork Side of the Ring podcast. I am your host, the purveyor of all things that are dorky within the scope of professional wrestling. I am Grumm. Hello. And if my voice sounds a little raspy, a little deeper, a little quieter, whatnot, I said on the Twitter, and then which I posted to the Instagram at Dork Side Ring, or also my personal ones at I am Grumm. Your boy went to a wedding this weekend and had himself a very fun time, and drank copious amounts and wildly overestimated the amount of fun, I overestimated the effect that the amount of fun would have on my body. My brain forgot the wedding I went to earlier this year was on a Friday, so that my brain said, yeah, no, we should be good Sunday, because we went to my other friend's wedding. And yeah, I did. And I was good on a Sunday because I didn't have anything to do, because it was on a Friday. So Saturday was the day it was hell. I probably should have recorded and uploaded the episode on Friday, because I could have recorded it like this part and the intro and everything on Friday, uploaded it for Monday, and then you rhythm. All that to say, I'm sorry for knocking you off of your rhythm, but I had fun. I'm glad I had fun. I don't regret it, and I'm here now, unlike my father. Anyways, thank you guys for checking out another episode of the Dork Side of the Ring podcast. We got my friends DorkyOwl, Johnner, from my Twitch circle. Two incredibly funny, just talented role players, and who I enjoy just riffing within role play, and it was fun to kind of have a more normal conversation. Although I don't know how normal a conversation can be talking about Viagra, but I promised a great story. And look, it's not a long story, but Dorky has an incredible story about Viagra in high school, which is wild to me. Anyways, thank you guys. I don't have anything just yet. The Patreon is technically it is finished. However, I'm not advertising it just yet. I think I'm going to do that towards the end of October and whatnot. But this way I also have stuff ready to go, because I still have to edit some stuff for that specifically, like the Dork Side stuff. So if you're listening to this and you're getting excited for that, do get excited for that. It'll be a lot. It'll be we're bang for your buck if you like content here. But yeah, let's get into enough of me rambling, talking about me having a good time being outside in the world and doing things. Let's sit down inside, or maybe you're outside, mowing the lawn or something when you're listening to this. Who knows? Either way, let's get into it today. Dork Side of the Ring, me, DorkyOwl, and Johnner talking about the Viagra on the Pole match from July 31st, 2000 episode of Nitro. I need to actually here. I'm going to do on the when I get to the ad. Okay, when I get to the ad, we'll have the little break thing. I call it an ad because I could put an ad there. What I do is I just plug my own shit right now. But anyways, when I get to there, I'll give you the time code for when that match, or when it actually starts, what we would have watched, because we watched a little bit of the pre-match stuff for context, and yeah. So we'll get to that. Me, Dorky, Johnner, here on the Dork Side. Now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's the Dork Side of the Ring. I am Grumm. Thank you, Grumm, for throwing it to me. I'm here with two of my most comical friends that I know, who, whenever we get together in Grand Theft Auto role player, just in any kind of voice call, I find myself laughing, just outright, like genuinely, like that hearty laugh that makes you feel like you're gonna die because you can't breathe. That's these two. We here on the Dork Side, we believe in age going first. So TheDorkyOwl. Dorky, introduce yourself. It's good to have you. Hi, welcome to the Dork Side.
Hello, everyone. Yes, this show was named after me. I am the inspiration for this. I am Dorky, or the Dorky Owl. I used to stream a little bit. That's probably shot now that I'm in college, but I used to do a little role play and stuff with Grumm, Joner, and the Tilly crew. As far as my wrestling knowledge,
whoa! We'll get into that. We'll get into that. I like to do a little bit. We'll lead into that. Okay. By the way, Dorky, incredible intro.
Thank you.
Just I know this past week as we record it was Bear and Buttons, and the two of them combined could not. They admitted that they are not good at the introductions and the self promoing and whatnot. They blame it being on British, and I'm just like, I guess Americans. I re-listening to it. I guess it's just the self promoting nature of the American way, and this is let's just get it out there. I'm Dorky. Yes, I am the inspiration. I like that comment. I like that. Also joining my longtime Grand Theft Auto role-playing partner, and just role-playing partner in general, Mr. Joner.
Well, hello there, Grumm. Thank you for inviting me on to your podcast. I'm just here with my bright blue American ego.
It's good to see
my rest. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, we're going to people introduce yourself to the...
yeah. As Grumm says, I do a lot of GTA RP roleplay with him. Man brought me in. I was just a little cub. Turned me into a big role-playing bear.
Look, I'm not going to say I'm responsible for everybody dealing with your shitlording role play.
All I play.
All you are.
I play.
All your characters are shitlords. It's just you have shitlord cops, shitlord criminals. Well,
shitlord civilian lawyers that don't like crime and are just have so much anxiety.
Dude, I miss just Shirley Duncan.
He's a judge now.
Jeez. Look at everybody moving up for your characters. Reformed criminal turned mayor.
Yeah, and then the cops now just a low life scumbag.
So much has happened.
So much has happened.
All my characters did a 360.
It's hilarious. So Dorky alluded to it. I like asking on the podcast a little bit beforehand to kind of fill this between time of what your guys' background with pro wrestling is. Now, Joner, for the most part, I know. However, we will get into that because of, there's people who are listening that don't know. They are the ones who really need to know. But Dorky was excited to talk about pro wrestling and giggled when I mentioned that I was going to ask this, which makes me go, either Dorky has never watched a lick of pro wrestling and is excited to get into depths here, or Dorky is just a low key fanatic of pro wrestling and it's yeah, I got all the CM Punk tattoos. So Dorky, what's your history with the professional wrestling art?
I know a little bit, a little something. I know, The Rock, yeah, and I know John Cena has been missing in action for many years. No one's ever seen him. And I know I recently learned Hulk Hogan is a racist. That was something we learned in Tilly. So that's my knowledge of wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, Joner, you missed it. So
I saw.
Well, no, in Tilly. Were you there? Did you see?
I wasn't in the server, but I saw the aftermath.
Oh, okay. Of me going Hulk Hogan's racist. Is there anything we're going through? Because I think Citra and Rob did the custom one.
I have checked those out.
It's a lot of fun. I was Thanos for an entire.
I was Goku that night.
Oh yeah, you were. That's right.
I was there.
Oh,
That's right.
Showed up.
Yeah, don't try Goku. He just wants to fight. No one challenge Goku. You must fight him. But yeah, just telling everybody like, yeah, like Hulk Hogan is like definitely like absolutely racist, and people are like, what do you mean? You know, like well, that does, like, I think Dorky, who was it that was surprised, wasn't surprised, I forget who, they were just like, no, that makes sense.
I don't remember, but yeah.
I remember like Rob was like, oh, okay, like, you know, explaining like, oh yeah, like, you know, he was having an adult relation with his best friend's wife, and his best friend was nanny camming them and released to Gawker and other websites the sex tape, the video, and it's just like, well, no one wants to see, you know, Hulk Hogan clapping cheeks. But
no.
Him being upset that his daughter is dating a black man. Yes, that's what people. And not just being upset, but very disappointed. And using.
I also I recently watched a little video documentary thing about War Machine. I think he's an MMA fighter, but I mean, that's a sports thing, right? So that's like something.
Making some people mad.
Yeah.
Other than that, I haven't seen like an actual like wrestling match ever.
I forgot about War Machine. That guy, holy shit! Talk about. I
know that was so much he did. That was
like in a short amount of time too. Like he came out of nowhere in you know, MMA, and it's not obviously not wrestling, like not fully wrestling, but like just the idea of like this guy is like a caricature of like a pro wrestling caricature of what an MMA fighter is. Like he's just ultra aggressive, except like he's real life ultra aggressive and not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know The Rock, you know that you cannot see that John Cena, and you know Hulk Hogan is racist.
Yep.
John, or what do you think? I think it's enough you need to really know about wrestling.
Yeah, you got the basics.
Yeah.
ABCs.
The only thing you're missing is how bad of a human being Vince McMahon is, but yet, you know, somehow continues to evade being held accountable for his business decisions.
Ooh, drama.
Boy, yeah. Talk about like just. Oh boy, I can't wait. I want to do a month long a month dedicated to Vince McMahon things on the Dork Side, just so I can just sit here and talk with different people just how ridiculous Vince McMahon is. But Johnner, your background with pro wrestling, because we're about the same age, so we both, you know, grown up slightly during the Attitude Era.
Old.
I was there, Grumm. I remember when those ropes were red, white, and blue. Watching that little TV in our kitchen. I was there, Grumm. When Vince McMahon came out and said we are now in the Attitude Era. I was there when DX attacked WCW. Yeah, my wrestling background goes back a bit. I've seen all the great matches. I dropped off right about John Cena's 15th championship run. I was just like, I can't stand it. Mm-hmm. And then around 20, I would say 16, I got back into it.
Okay.
I think when I was in elementary school was when that whole wrestling is fake thing was spread around, and that was like my only knowledge of wrestling for many years of my life.
That is the I think that is a common. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a common bond here, despite with pro wrestling, is when you're in elementary school, you are told that wrestling is fake. Purple told probably my funniest story that I've ever heard about somebody being told that wrestling is quote unquote fake, and how he just loved pro wrestling as a kid. And then his dad's like, "That's fake," and then he never watched it again afterward. He's just like, "Yeah, he's just
breaking." But like, I was on the front lines when everyone was telling us. I was one of the last fighters.
It's like when adults lie to children and say that Santa Claus is not real. That's a lie. Like he absolutely is a real. Yeah. I know him. I've you know what? I've had steak dinner with Santa Claus. Me, him. You know. He's a medium well done kind of guy, which shocked me, but it makes sense, you know. He doesn't have time to really take care of a steak. But yeah, so
I told you these things.
Yeah. I was like, wow, I learned a lot about Santa Claus. But he also told me that wrestling is not fake; that is scripted, and that it is just scripted entertainment, much like a soap opera or a reality television show. So.
It's just like role play.
Much like role play, yeah. And I always enjoy the parallels of like role playing and pro wrestling. Of like, you know, everybody wants to get their shit in, but the only way you make, you know, all that stuff matter is if you work together. Otherwise, none of the bits care. Nobody cares about the bit. But that, you know, is part of the fun of pro wrestling. Is sometimes you get a little outlandish, or what we hear on the dork side of the ring, appreciate the things that even within the confines of pro wrestling absolutely don't make sense. And we're going to be watching something from the year 2000. Now, Dorky, year 2000, you were not born. The year 2000 was an interesting year. Because not only outside of pro wrestling, there was this big Y2K bug fear because all the computer systems, how would they be able to, you know, work if the year said 00? You know,
math.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it because at the time I'm 8, but
I was
like
10.
Yeah, like, so like, you know, vaguely remember it, but it's an interesting time. Within the confines of pro wrestling. It is a great time for WWE, kind of, then WWF, because, you know, The Rock is very popular. Everybody loves The Rock. Everybody loves Mankind. Everybody loves, you know, everybody hates Triple H. You know, all the bad guys that are bad guys. It's a good time to be a WWE fan. To be a WCW fan, which was World Championship Wrestling, owned by Ted Turner, well, at this point, Turner, Time Warner, AOL merging companies thing, media conglomerates coming together and such and such. Not so much. The company was dying, and they rarely, if at all, ever were on top of things, and they were scrambling to make up ground that they lost in a wrestling war. And that included, you know, throwing stuff at the wall and making things be more real. You know, Hulk Hogan got referred to as Terry Bollea more times in a 3-month span in 2000 than he had ever imagined at any point before. And then, you know, a couple other things happen. They bring in some new characters. They bring in new people. And one of them being Shane Douglas, the franchise, Shane Douglas. Guy's kind of, you know, big shot. Think of it like he was a role player on a smaller server, but he would constantly take jabs at a larger server. It's like best role player. You know, he always like, that guy fucking sucks. I'm the best. I'm the guy. And, you know, people love him for that on the other server. People love the other server, that smaller server, because it's different. Well, he finally got a chance to, you know, swim with the big fishes after, you know, in a dying, toxic workplace. It didn't go exactly as he's playing. Now, before we get fully into that, do you have any experience, either one of you guys have any experience with having to reach high objects?
Yeah,
every day of my life. I'm like 5 foot. I gotta. Like the second shelf is high. I gotta get a step stool and stuff.
What about you, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not like super short, but I'm not that tall. So like, there's just places, and also at my job, like, yeah, I've reached for things. Where are you going with this?
Why are you asking these questions?
what kind of questions?
I'm asking the question because, you know, pro wrestlers are like us. They have to reach things every so often.
You're people
you do not compare those gods to us.
Now, the reason why I bring this up is because pro wrestling has an affinity for putting things in high places that are hard to reach. The ladder match, There's been
table ladder match,
table ladders and chairs match. There's been Ultimate X matches where like they have like these wires go crisscross over the middle of the ring and it makes an X, and then in the middle is, you know, the championship or something. There's a variety of things. None more nonsensical than blank on a pole.
Oh, jeez.
And Johnner's now figuring out where we're going with this. Maybe. But Dorky, you're not, so it's along for the ride. Dorky,
I know what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Dorky, imagine, if you will, a wrestling ring. You know, big square. Why they call it a ring when it's a square, who knows? However, there's corners, and in one specific corner is a tall, like just extension, that is holding an item, and the object of the match is to retrieve the item from said pole, and that's how you win. So, and I don't understand why the affinity for this was like, because it's not just a WCW thing. Like, it's been done before. It's like a King of the Mountain type, you know, or King of the Hill type.
King of the Hill.
But it doesn't make sense when it's a one-on-one like person, like, you know. Because especially when, for whatever reason, sometimes they would put it directly behind a guy. Like, you know, everybody has their own corners. And then they would just put, like, the item in that guy's corner. And all he had to do would just turn around fast enough and climb. Like, and
then he wins if he gets it?
Yeah, and he wins. And the match is over. Some of my favorite items that have been on a pole have been a guitar, a leather jacket, a flag. There's been a lot of flag on a pole matches.
Your job
on a pole. Yeah. Total Nonstop Action, TNA did one called Feast or Fired, and it was 4 corners all had like a briefcase in it, which 3 of them having a title shot, and then one being you get fired. So, very enticing stuff. However, what we're talking about is one of the more interesting things to put on a pole, and why they would do that doesn't make any sense, because even the logic to get to this point of what the match we're going to watch today didn't make any sense. But we're going to watch from the July 31st, 2000 episode of Nitro, Billy Kidman versus Shane Douglas in a Viagra on a pole match. Oh. That's right.
Oh.
Those little blue pills.
Well, here now.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to watch that here on the Dork Side of the ring. Me, Dorky, and Johnner. We're going to watch that. We'll be right back. Probably just shaking our heads in absolute
approval.
Shaking my head.
Here on the Dork Side of the ring, we'll be right back. I can't do a voice today. I could probably do Dusty, but I can't. I'm not going to try to. Definitely not going to try a Macho Man one. But hey, look, if you enjoyed the content that you see so far, or listened to so far, we're episode 10, episode 10, I believe. We're in double digits now. But if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and leave a 5-star review on the Apple Podcast Store. Rate it 5 stars. Leave a review. I will read it on a future episode. I appreciate that. It helps us grow, and it's a little fun thing to do. But yeah, also, so we're going to do this, right? I want you to pause this after I give you the time code, okay? I'm gonna let you know when to do it, all right? But you want to go to 1 hour and 1 minute, 49 seconds of the July 31st, 2000 episode of WCW Nitro on the Peacock Network. That's where we watched it. If you have the Peacock subscription, $5 gets you the ad version. Shameless plug for them. Good for them. They don't really need that money. I'm sure you can find this match on YouTube though. But we watch a little bit of the pre-match stuff with some recaps and a nice little segment in between or before, where the match is booked on the fly basically. But yes, That is 1 hour, 1 minute, 49 seconds on the July 31st, 2000 episode of Monday Nitro. That is on the Peacock if you're on the cock. But also, if you're also on Apple Podcasts, which I know at least half of you are. The nice thing, leave a 5-star review. I'll read it. You can literally put anything that is appropriate, and I'll read it. I'll read it. You want me to plug one of your own things? I'll do it. I'll whore out my podcast. Look, I just hit the mic, but I need to look. Pause the podcast now. Pause it now. Okay, welcome back. Good to have you. We're back here. Go back to the Dork Side of the Ring here. Dork Side of the Ring podcast. Me, Dorky, and John are talking about what we watched months ago, but what you just watched. Hopefully, maybe. All right, cool. Thank you.
That was Nitro.
Okay.
I didn't watch Nitro.
Yeah, no one at this point. No one did. We're back here on the Dork Side. Just got done watching the Viagra on a pole match. I can't. All right, so I was keeping track. There were at least 40 sexual innuendos made by the commentary team about Shane Douglas being unable to get it up.
Was he even trying?
Well, I heard the last one. He was like, well, I hate to mention it again, but he could probably use it.
And that's like the thing. Like, some of them were just like, he's got to keep his head in this. It's like, he's got to like, and it's like, yeah, it's so good, so clever.
That was a clever one. I almost missed it.
I think that the thing. So basically, it's a standard wrestling match, and then like the last 3 minutes is just, or not even 3 minutes, probably like 2 minutes, a minute and a half maybe, is them trying to get the actual Viagra, which did not look anything like Viagra to me. I'm not a not a user of the Viagras. However, I do know that they call it the little blue pill, and none of those.
He definitely spit out white ones.
He definitely spit out just like sugar
But they
pills.
had red ones?
But I think that was.
It was like different color. Yeah, it was like different colors.
Yeah, some of them were red.
Why
some
steal
of
the
them
name and just not go full on? If you guys just steal the brand, just steal the brand. Why even call it?
And what was the bottle made of? Was it made out of like that fake glass stuff that like can't really cut you? Like,
yeah,
but it shattered, right?
It shattered. Yeah. It shattered, and then like maybe it was like sugar glass, maybe like.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because like they rubbed his face all where the glass was, so it's like.
Yeah, it shattered too. Like it was basically enough for them to be like, I won. Look, I got it. Like he hits the Pittsburgh driver. I think it was called. Shane Douglas does, and goes up to grab the item, to grab the small bottle of Viagra. Like this is like. I can't go because it's like somebody just like, yeah, Viagra, that's a thing. Yeah, let's make fun of him not being able to get a boner. And they're like, yeah, that'll be it. That's the ticket.
It's 2000.
Yeah.
That was our comedy. That was our comedy from 2000 to 2010.
He can't get it up.
He's got ED. Like when did
we didn't even know what it meant. We just said it as kids.
Yeah. You can't get it up. Ha 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 ha.
Get what up?
Yeah. little, when you eventually men get older and that's gonna happen, and you're just like, oh man, I wish I didn't make fun of it.
History
repeats itself. When I was watching that one wrestling match, I didn't laugh. I wish I didn't do that.
So, I should have learned to grab the Viagra.
So it's like, it's like Viagra also is like new, right? Like it's not. Like at this point, 2000, it's a new revelation. Like they were, making this in 1989. They were trying to work on like blood pressure.
So maybe it wasn't the little blue pill.
What was the next? Well, no, there were other pills. I remember watching a lot of commercials when watching, shows at night.
Mm-hmm. Go on, Johnner. Tell us more. What was your favorite one? Huh?
The enzyme commercial where they do the whistling.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I think my favorite was the smile one. I think that commercial was the worst one.
What, the guy smiling and waving and the whistling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he whistling? I thought he was just smiling.
There's a tune in the background. He's smiling, but there's a whistle when you watch the commercial.
So, where he's smiling, and they're like, "Why is he smiling?" And
then the one guy's like, "Oh, he got enzyme."
And you see his wife, and his wife has to smile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I never understood why did she take the pill?
No, Johnner, she enjoyed it. So
the pill?
No, the effects of the pill.
I thought the effects of the pill made you smile.
No, it's not an antidepressant. It's
I don't know what that meant in 2010.
2010.
Sorry,
I didn't know what that was 10 years ago. I'm
a late bloomer.
I was watching Girls Gone Wild for the music. I just didn't I didn't understand why they were taking shirts off. I was just like, man, I really like this music.
I just watched the commercial at 1 o'clock in the morning at Comedy Central.
Yeah, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and then 3 o'clock turns into just pure. All right, so we're getting really talking about old stuff that I want Dorky's perspective on. So, and I feel like it's probably like that now, but I don't really watch TV like that anymore.
Yeah, me too.
But television used to have from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. almost every channel had infomercials. That's all that was on. Nobody ever had anything else. There was always infomercials about some fucking detergent or some cleaning product. This is where Billy Mays made his living, was in these infomercials. And they're half-hour long infomercials, and there's 6 of them, and then they would be like, all right, now back to our regular schedule. I'm like, what? Why? It's what the fuck? And to this day, I don't understand that.
I remember at 3 in the morning, it'd be George Lopez's show.
Yeah.
Come on.
The Good Night, yeah.
Yeah.
God, I remember when the George Lopez show was new. You're watching it Nick at Night.
Yeah.
It got classic while I was alive.
It's crazy. We lived through the George Lopez show.
Jeez. And so I'm just looking more about Viagra and how I knew it started as a heart medicine pill, and they were like, oh, this is giving us boners. But 90.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah.
That's
how it was discovered.
It was they were trying to make high blood pressure, blood pressure lowering medicine, and they were like, well, this kind of does it, but also gives you a raging boner, and really distracting.
Where else but the Dork Side of the Ring would you learn about this stuff?
Where else? Exactly.
In high school, some of my friends were like, "Oh, today we're gonna take Viagra. We're gonna see what that does." And they took it, and they were like, "Well, I guess nothing really happens because we didn't get aroused at all." They thought they just have a boner all day.
no, that's when you go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm glad that through the years that's how kids still thought. We were at 10 years ago. We're thinking 10 years later, kids were still like, "So how does this work?"
Yeah, yeah. So I just take this, no, well, it's not supposed to work. It doesn't work. They're in high school, so my high school experience, I did not have a great control over my hormones. I don't think many people did. I didn't get to, the fear of standing up in class with a boner was a legit fear among me and my friends. The scene in Superbad where he's talking about how, I was watching this with my girlfriend recently, Superbad. And the scene where they're the magazine stand and they're just talking about it. He's like, I want to grow up in a world where people are excited to see my boner. Instead of being like, oh, disgusting, they're just like, it's a nice boner, Evan. It's a nice boner.
Now, hold on. Dorky, have you even seen Superbad?
No.
Oh my
God!
God!
When you brought it up, I feared it. That's such a good
I was like,
movie.
it's such a good. I was like, come on, like I think I. All right, Dorky.
But I don't know if she'd like it. Like
no.
The thing about 8, like
No. Rewatching it recently, it ages a lot better than a lot of things made in that same time.
Really?
Yeah. Like if you want the quintessential like late 2000s, early 10s like high school experience from a guy's perspective mostly, that's it. Like they did very well in just being like, yeah, these guys are awkward. They're not exactly their biggest fear in life right now is going to college without getting laid. But it's not like overly hyper masculine, like, or if it is, at the times when it is, it's done as a comedy of like, look at this fucking guy being hyper masculine because he thinks he has to be. Which I'm like, wow, this ages really, really well. There's a scene where towards the end of the movie, one of the main characters is drunk, and the girl that he's into, who is into him, is like all over him, like doing a toast, and he's like, "I'll do a toast to Becca, to respecting women," and everybody's like, "Yeah!" And I'm like, this is fucking like I'm like sitting like that's gonna be now my toast. If I ever am asked to do a toast anywhere, I will just be like to respecting women, and that's it. Like because that's the toast. If you don't want to toast to that, then I got a problem with you. But God.
It is on Netflix. Everyone just
it is. It's on Netflix for the till the end of the month. I actually found that out. This month.
I'll have to watch it then.
Don't act like it's not. It's gonna be a good time. Look, it's like an hour and 40 minutes, I think. Maybe a little bit longer. It's funny. Like, I forgot how like well they do in writing, like just with the one-liners and writing, like having things that like don't seem like they'll pay off in the future. Like oh, that's just a throwaway line. No, it's not a throwaway line.
That sounds fun then.
It is fun. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever. I don't think when I was in high school I ever was thought about what Viagra would do. Like,
well, no, I just I don't think when you're that age you just
I'm not. Yeah,
I think they thought they'd just be like seriously horny like all day, like
they were
like, uncontrollable.
Yeah, that's what you think. As kids,
Wait,
like, that can become. I can be more of that.
Right, like I'm sitting here going like they weren't already horny like all day. Like I remember.
It also gives you a bit of a confidence boost. You're like, people need help with that. Nice.
like I'm sitting here going like in high school. Yeah, no, I was detrimentally like I was a teenage boy with my hormones. They were raging. Yes, shocker. But like I don't think like. They thought they'd like unlock their horny superpowers. Like
I don't know what they thought they were doing. They acted like it was like some like they were being all secretive too. Like who brought him? Oh, you want one? Yeah, you gotta go get it from him.
Gotta get it from Chad.
Yeah.
Chad's got the Cialis. Scott's got the Viagra.
It's like that. Everyone was thinking of that movie with the guy who plays Rocket in the Guardians. Bradley Cooper. The movie. Where
Limitless.
Kids would think of Limitless before Limitless even came out.
If I take this boner pill, I'm going. Well, that's not true because Dorky was in high school like last year.
Right. But I'm saying even before that.
Wait,
I'm pretty sure kids in Dorky's high school weren't thinking of Limitless. Like,
no, they were thinking of
Limitless was already
porn.
like a year old, and kids. Everyone forgot about that movie 5 months after. It was
out.
Absolutely,
it was not a good. It was not a good movie.
I haven't heard of that movie, so
exactly.
No, exactly. No, but like the idea, like
that movie was just inspired by kids in high school who are like, "What if we just get more horny with Viagra?"
They say you only use 10% of your brain. What would happen if we use the other 90? Like, that's the premise of that movie, Dorky. Is that the guy finds a pill that unlocks his brain potential. Yeah. but like the pitch was like he only uses 10% of his brain, so people were like, you only use 10% of your brain. Like, no, you idiot. If you use 10% of your brain, you'd be drooling, like unable to move, probably, maybe even breathe. But like the idea that they were like, yeah, we want to be limitless in terms of being, teenage like boy horny, like. Like they're like when you're a teenage boy, you get there's a gentle breeze while you're wearing athletic shorts, and you have to now sit down for a little bit because you're like
take a minute.
Oh boy, you need to get a smoke break. You're like, holy shit, that's great. I'm just sitting here thinking like in high school, like if there was anybody who would have done that in my high school, and I'm like, they probably would. I don't know about you, Johnner.
Yeah.
Is it you?
Yeah, I lived in
You would have done it.
No,
yeah.
well, hold on. It's not exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that was in my entire school.
Yeah.
The people I grew up with everyone was like that.
Everybody was like, you know what? My school was more concerned with other pills than Viagra.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
We didn't. My school was more about flowers than pills.
Okay. Yeah, my school was not the most rich in flour. So they actually wait, hold on. What's the euphemism? You're not talking about? You're using flour FLOW, right? Like a scented flour, not like baking flour.
Sure. Yeah. Yes. I'm not talking.
Are you talking about the nose candies, Johnner?
No, not the nose candy. Well, we had that too. I meant mainly.
Well, marijuana,
lettuce. Yes.
Yeah, the Lucifer's arugula. Yeah. The free drugs, if you will. I don't know if you call free drugs. I saw Paya say that, and he's like, "Yeah, just make sure you pay it forward." And it's like, what? I don't think like any wild things were really done. Like maybe I have to talk to some people if they're like, "Hey, did anybody do any like boner pills trials while they were in high school?" Like, did anybody think like they weren't getting enough random boners throughout the day? Naturally, they needed some performance enhanced boners. I just need to go to the doctor,
You bring that up in conversation.
I'm gonna go to my 10-year reunion next year and just be like,
"Hey, y'all took Viagra."
Yeah.
How many y'all would take a Viagra in the bathroom?
Anybody taking Viagra in high school? Not like to.
See, that's
not practically.
Like
you want to join. You want to like be like, so who else, right?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I wasn't alone.
Yeah. You don't want to single them out.
Yeah, I wasn't alone, right? Like,
I know I wasn't the only one taking Viagra.
Who else? Come on.
Right?
Yeah, who else? Yeah, you. Yeah,
you would have been for like every period. Come on.
Yeah, your husband was. That's right. Yeah, I know he was. I mean, it's like the idea. Now I'm just like. The fact that you're just like, yeah, no, I have friends who just like decided they wanted to have more. They wanted to be uncontrollably horny throughout the day. It's like you just need to be more horny. I thought my friends. I had to
be adults. You think that's how you become an adult.
If I just have enough balled up horniness.
It was so random too. Like he was just like, yeah, I got my hand on some Viagra, and who wants to try it with me?
It's hot.
Yeah, it was just like,
hey, don't tell anybody. I got them little blue pills.
I got the good shit.
Just
I'm gonna see what it does.
I want to see how horny it's gonna make me. And there's like 3 hours into it. I'm not horny. If anything, it's doing the opposite. Could you imagine that if it fucked up the rest of their lives? Like they're just like not able to actively. Perform.
It did the opposite.
It did the opposite, but for a lot longer than 4 hours. It's been fucking 3 years since I took that Viagra, and I haven't got a boner since.
Ruined my life.
Ruined my life.
Don't do Viagra, kid.
The dangers of Viagra.
That's the next like
shit they don't tell you about.
That's the next like they come back to the school to do like to talk to the students, like the DARE associate like people, like they say marijuana is bad for you, or they said it, because it's not. It never actually was bad for you, but anyways, don't do cocaine, but especially don't do Viagra. Like,
let me tell you a story, kid.
Picture me sitting where you are, and I'm listening to the guy where I'm at. I'm sitting where you are, and there's a guy where I am, and he's telling me that drugs are bad.
They gotta re-record those like video like skits where like the kids like come from behind the locker, and it's like one dude who has Viagra. Hey, you want to try this little blue pill, huh?
Yeah. And you really, it's like, God,
Matrix did just come out.
God, Jared, you really got a hard on for getting rid of these pills. Like, now I feel as bad as the WCW announcing team. Really,
I knew what they had to go through.
Yeah. Jeez, I still like 40. They had 40 innuendos for boner jokes.
That's a lot.
Like, I understand it's the 2000s, and that's kind of like the prevailing humor for the next 20 years of comedy. But like, dear God, I guess I shouldn't say that because my go-to Grand Theft Auto bit is that my 18-year-old SoundCloud rapper character gets a boner and is ashamed of it. Like, so maybe I'm not. Maybe I need to get off my high horse.
Hey, now I watched that thing break a cast.
So, still one of my favorite bit is him getting a kiss on the cheek while on a body cast, and it breaks the cast.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I like back to the match a little bit since we're kind of heading back that way. So Dorky, you made the comment while we were watching how over exaggerated everything is, and that's wrestling. But I'm like, man, like they're really just mailing it in. Just outwardly, like, just being not interested.
Like half of like the knee, like when like they're like trying to knee each other, like half the time it didn't even like connect. It was just like they just jerked back and stuff. So it was like, oh.
Well, it's very hard to really care about a match where it's like you got to try to grab the Viagra before him.
Yeah.
Like the conditioning of the match was very off-putting to begin with.
They should have picked a different drug. You're right. It wasn't enticing enough.
Yeah. Whoever gets the coke.
Look, coke on a pole. That would have sold because you could advertise it as just coke on a pole, and then when somebody goes, wait, are they actually going to use cocaine? Is it going to be cocaine or is it going to be cola? Like what's on the pole?
We are not taking questions at this time.
Yeah. You'll have to tune in next week. You're just going to have to wait to see.
Well, that's why drug testing became a thing.
Yeah. So all right, so kind of I had this written down as like what like the coke thing. I kind of spoiled my own bit in my answer here, but I had written down like other drugs on a pole that would work, and I'm like, cocaine on a pole is incredibly just like the idea that you could just advertise coke on a pole for probably 2 weeks before anybody would really force you to tell you, hey, is it cocaine or is it Coca-Cola? What's going on here?
The real extreme, and it's not even like in a container. They have to like actually just go up and snort the line. That's the only way you can like win the game.
It's you'd have to fight more than you want. That's how you get your King of the Hill your match, Dorky. Because there'd be people fiending for it. They're like, well, free coke, jumping the fucking barricade trying to climb up.
The whole audience is fighting them.
I mean, American health system is basically that, though. Like, you just, insulin on a pole. It's you versus the American health system, insulin on a pole match. But I'm glad that meta to borrow video game speak went away. Because we're probably that close for an inhaler on a match where I was
about to say, would you that would be awful if a backstory was both of these wrestlers have sick family members, and they need this. There's only one shot left of whatever this miracle medicine is, and whoever gets it on the pole can save their loved one. And the other
Do
one
not
dies.
talk to Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Oh my
please.
God.
Do not tell him this.
Nah,
He'll do it.
I like that idea, but I'm going to do it this way. Each wrestler has a needle, and they have the cure to their family members' sickness in like the needle, in the syringe. But they have to get to the other side of the ring, and to get their
specific
and they got to inject it into the pole, and the pole is connected to their family member. So the pole is
in the IV.
Yeah, you got to put in the IV.
As soon as the other person injects theirs, the pole goes to like retreats down. The
person dies. They're dead. Sorry.
Yeah.
They can't get their treatment. Sorry, you have to pay for it. Like
they would tell us this kind of stuff. Vince would do it.
I know. This is terrible. These are gonna be bad bits. I'm telling you. We're gonna have like the fun part. Like I think I did it with Rob and Citra. I did Dork Sides with Rob and Citra, and we made like allusions to Dork Side of the Ring stuff in like bits that followed. But like this is where it's like I'm gonna end up in a scene with one of you two talking about how Muffins is like had a friend in high school who did fucking Viagra.
Viagra, yeah.
The
other day someone offered me Viagra.
Yeah, so I was just chilling. Next thing I know, somebody's doing Viagra through their asshole. It's like.
And good insult for Angelica would be like, I bet you do Viagra.
This is a good. Yeah, take that, Dorky. Just don't use it on me. Use it on other people because that'd be funny because they're not going to understand why. But yeah, I like insulin on a pole, an inhaler on a pole. Like what other, just like dumb. Like any medicine,
the
really.
whole life support machine on a pole.
The iron lung on a pole. Better plug that in.
Do you have to? Do you have to get in? It's on the pole. You don't take it down. You get in. Like
you gotta plug it in. The outlet's right up there. Go get it.
Do you want to save your dying loved one? You better plug in this extension cord. Start using that. I mean, that one at least you could use the extension cord to like choke out your opponent.
Oh, they would definitely do.
And then it would break if it.
Well, you would wrap it around. Well, they would wrap it around their neck and then plug it in.
Oh,
so,
wow!
Like, and then they'd be like, "I can't unplug this. My arms that go 4 feet. I can't reach it.
Don't unplug that. You're gonna kill my loved one."
God, I can bench press 200 pounds. I just can't unplug this cord.
Yeah, this wire so strong for some reason.
The love you have for your loved one is making this wire stronger.
Stronger.
Just anime it or whatever. But yeah, I can't like the whole match, and like they took like Shane Douglas, who even in 2000 like isn't necessarily the same guy that he always was. But like, to basically just be like, yeah, this whole story is Billy Kidman releases sex tape, and then like Shane Douglas like tries to one up him, but he's got boner issues. And then they're like, ha 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 ha, Shane, you're gonna wrestle Billy Kidman in Viagra in the pole. And I think John or you said, why if you're Billy Kidman, why do you care?
Yeah, you would just beat him up until he can't move and just leave like.
Yeah, you don't want the girl anymore. She cheated on you. Yeah. So
she left you.
It's such an insult to him too to be like whoever wrote that. Like, all right, so you're gonna lose, but not because you didn't grab it, because
he steals it from you, and the ref didn't see that you had it. Yeah.
Like the idea that it's just like oh, like yeah, you're gonna win this match, except you're actually not going to win it because Tori Wilson is going to distract the referee the entire time.
And then she's going to rub your face in the Viagra because you really needed it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
fans are going to eat it up.
The story doesn't make sense like at all. From a just storytelling standpoint.
Why would you leave him if the other dude couldn't get it up, Like if that was like
I don't understand. And they thought like
because hold on.
Okay.
You know, personalities do matter. Like
not in 2000s it didn't. And definitely not with this wrestling sketch. Like, it probably didn't matter.
Okay, so someone listened to history. Saying. All right.
John was like, "Fuck, you're
using
an A." This is. What are you? Go back to Dorky, who was not alive for the Y2K bug.
Which there for the greatest chicken fight of all time.
What year was that?
2000.
Yeah.
Oh
Y2J.
No. It wasn't even.
Peter Griffin versus the Giant Chicken.
Yep. Yeah, I think Dorky. By the way, you now take the crown as youngest Dork Side guest. We did have a 19-year-old, but no,
turned
20
19 in October.
Oh yeah, no, you're definitely. I think it's going to be comfortably like you. I don't think anybody. I don't foresee myself getting like a 16-year-old on because I don't. I don't want them to be like, yeah, like I heard an episode. You know what? After that, I was inspired to use a Viagra.
Viagra.
I got Blue Chew instead. I figured that would work better.
You might need a warning for this one.
Don't do drugs, kids. Not even Viagra.
Don't do boner pills.
Do not take medication that your parents don't tell you to take.
Look at that. Look at us being responsible content creators.
If your parents are responsible guardians, then you trust them.
If you have parental issues, go for it.
What do I care? I'm not your dad.
Go nuts. If they don't care, I don't care.
And there we go. Now we're back to being irresponsible, just the way I like it. But yeah, the idea of this match is just like you said, like she rubs Tori Wilson rubs Billy Kidman's face in the pills, but like she like halfway stops and just starts like fake smashing his head. And then
she was more like caressing his hair. She wasn't like moving his face much.
And she's doing all that, and then like she stops, gets up, and like Shane Douglas grabs her and I guess tells her like, act like you're crazy, act crazy, like you really want to, and then she's just like, oh okay, and then like suddenly she's like, I want to let me at him, when she had to be convinced to go at him in the first place.
Yeah, she like tried to kick him too, right?
Yeah, and then he spit up sugar pills.
He spilled like 10 pills somehow, even though his face like didn't even touch the ground.
That was the thing is like I want to go back and look, but I don't know how he got all those pills in his mouth. Like unless they looked, I think they were just candy. I just think it was like Smarties. Yeah. Like or similar to Smarties or Rockets if you're Canadian for whatever reason.
Well, hold on. But yeah, I don't think there were an actual like kind of something that they couldn't take. I don't think it'd be that. But also, they probably were stupid enough to just put any kind of thing in.
Yeah.
Oh, you're allergic to that?
Well, we'll just put some ibuprofen.
That would be really insult to injury if like he had to hold like real medicine just in his mouth. Like he can swallow the pills. He just had to hold it, and as it slowly melts and becomes disgusting.
You got to do that disgusting cough medicine, but like the bad one, not the good one.
Yeah.
God, has cough medicine got? Because I'm not like a child anymore, so I don't do cough medicine. I just drink water. But like when I was a kid, cough medicine was disgusting, and I feel like it.
Well,
I hope it got better.
I'm not a child, so
yeah, Dorky.
I can't say the answer. Whoa.
I'm an adult.
Yeah, but you're
not a child either.
An adult for 5 minutes, and
I never really took cough medicine. I think I have like one memory of taking cough medicine as a kid, and I didn't like it.
Okay.
And a cherry is still disgusting. I used to just drink like tea and stuff if my throat was messed up.
Yeah, I feel like we as a society did the right thing and got away from cough medicine to ail like a cough, like most things. Like, oh, it's just a cough. Have some tea. Drink some water. You'll be okay. If it's something worse, we'll go to a doctor. Like cough.
I didn't realize how bad I was. Like, I got addicted to cough medicine as a kid. Because then when I got into like my 20s. I remember the first time I took cough medicine so long, I was like, oh, I can't do this. That stuff, you get addicted to it. It's not
I know
a joke.
people like love Pepto-Bismol. Like
that's because they have bad diets and they like to not feel like garbage.
Yeah.
But it like the smell of it makes me nauseous.
It does not smell good.
I'm just learning so much about Dorky. Dorky has like some interesting friends of was like, yeah, I got friends who like really enjoy the taste of Pepto-Bismol, and I have friends who get bored and take boner pills to see if they can get it become the ninth circle of hell horny. Like I was in like Pepto-Bismol. Like, yeah, no, I'm with you, Dork. It doesn't smell good. Like, I just, if I eat something that because I have a bad diet, I accepted the consequences. Pepto-Bismol will not save me.
Yeah, that's what well, really, because if I'm already feeling bad, I don't want to drink something that's disgusting. I'd rather just wait it off, actually.
Yeah, just you know what? I'll have my upset stomach, diarrhea, and all the other fun jingles.
Yeah, we grew up with the jingles. She
yeah.
Didn't.
Oh,
so,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, jeez. What is?
She doesn't really. If she heard the jingle, she'd be like, "Oh, I kind of want some Pepto-Bismol."
Yeah, Pepto-Bismol. Pepto-Bismol. A lot of commercial talk today. Well,
this episode is brought to you by
has been paid in
Viagra. Ad here.
Yeah, right.
Sponsored by Viagra. Hey, listen, you ever go, man, I love wrestling, but I just wish I could be more horny.
I wish I could get it up more.
Have you ever sympathized with Shane Douglas's plight of being unable to perform for Tori Wilson in, the summer of 2000?
Did you really see yourself in that skit? Couldn't get it up.
You do the bit. We do the bit.
That was not a mirror, folks. That was Shane Douglas.
Thank you, Shane. But you may, in real life, have an issue with your performance. Don't want to be caught with your pants down?
Don't be like Shane. Call today.
1-800-BONERIFIC. Would that work? Let's see. Boner. No.
I think it's too long.
Too long. 1-800-BONER.
Yeah, that'd probably work.
Maybe. Or boners with a Z.
I want to be able to have 1-800 numbers on Tilly.
We'll have we'll
That's what 555 should be.
Oh yeah, true.
When we were thinking of call this, I'm definitely thinking,
I mean, Rick already has the whole
Right.
Well, he's got 555. I have 555. I'm 555-6666. I think.
I think Rob tried to get most MLM people to have 555 start.
I think Rand's is 091. No, it can't be O, so it was 910.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was upset that I couldn't do because I wanted to do 02.
I wouldn't have 00000 for doggy.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted to do the same thing with 23 because that's what I did. It was 232323.
Yeah. I think I did 23 230 2323. I think I ended up making it. I don't remember, but the 1-800 numbers, and now I'm thinking about John, or you'll remember this. You remember the 8 call ATT commercial?
Oh yeah.
Dial right down the center. 1-800 call ATT. Which that actually didn't work because 1 and 8 are not, or 1 is not in the center. So.
Well, if you had the phones they were using, look.
The rotary phones.
No, because it was.
We're not that old.
I'm just.
Did not have rotary. We had buttons.
Back when you were young in the 1920s.
Look here.
I don't know if you should have invited Dorky. Can we redo this episode?
This is. I'm sorry, Johnner. Look, Johnner, you told me anybody who could tolerate you. That's a slim pool of people.
I have to tolerate them too.
Yeah, well, yeah. Look, I didn't know Dorky was gonna come in here and just slander us for being around 30.
I roleplay an 82-year-old man. I'm not 82.
I'm not old. Damn it.
There's a difference.
I get into a character mindset of being old, but I am not old.
I swear.
But what else? Anything else? The intro segment of where he's in the commissioner's office and he's just like pissed and he's angry. And the commissioner goes, "You know what? I got an idea. You're gonna be the Viagra on a pole match."
He just starts laughing.
So that is multiple time champion, karate champion, Ernest the Cat Miller. Who is
he would make a great manager,
dude? He's an absolute electric personality. So when he
but like when he put a guy in a Viagra match.
Look, but he could not even. He said it and then started cackling. Like he couldn't even. That's 100% was not acting.
Because of how much he was getting paid to say that.
Yeah, you get to go put in
the sick jacket he had.
Look. All right, so this podcast started as like a segment on another podcast, and me and a friend talked about the time that Ernest the Cat Miller and James Brown, the Godfather of Soul Man, James Brown, had a dance off on pay-per-view basically, and like Ernest the Cat Miller has always dressed incredible. Like I'll send in our group chat like some of his outfits, but he is a very interesting dresser because like he can get away with it. Like when you're a karate champion, like who is going to tell you can't wear what you want to wear? Like, I'm not gonna be me.
Okay, point.
Like here, look at this. Ready? Like this one where he's wearing like a leopard, not like a leopard printed shirt. Like he's just he's very smooth.
The bleached hair. That was very late 90s.
Very. A lot of people did it. Here's him. This is one I've used before. This is the inspiration, not the direct inspiration, but like on the cover art for Dork Side is this event, and he's wearing like the sleeveless suit, like
with the cape.
Well, yeah, that's James Brown's like King of Soul cape. He's just like a like again, when you're that bad of a man, who's going to tell you you're not going to be able to wear that?
That's true.
Jesus Christ! Found him wearing a lot of wrestlers don't know how to dress. They either dress outrageous like Ernest the Cat Miller, wearing a tiger striped suit, or they dress like John Cena and wear like the baggiest suits of all time.
Well, you have to remember they were basically children being dressed by Vince.
Yeah, but like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because like he doesn't have like I just can't like again I can't like I'm 100% with him in that I would wear whatever the fuck I want to wear, because if you say I can't, I'm going to tell you then you can fight me, because if you can't beat me, then you can't tell me what to wear.
I mean, he's paying for it anyway.
Yeah, here's it.
Or someone's buying it for him. I don't know.
This suit is just out fucking outrageous. Like it's a golden tiger suit.
Like all velvet too. Even like the shirt underneath.
I think you read Spider-Man once.
It's gonna be fucking hot, man. Like that. I want to feel that suit though. I definitely want to feel that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'll feel very soft. It looks a good like person to hug.
Yeah,
that suit.
It's not my mission to find that suit and touch it. Just like be like, oh yeah, just like I thought.
It's gonna be coarse, rough.
It's real tighter.
Could you imagine if it's just like the opposite of comfortable, and you're like, oh man.
That's why you don't actually go for those dreams, because then you don't want that disappointment.
You just think about the dreams, yeah.
Yeah, you want to think or feeling. You don't actually want to feel it.
No, false. I want to feel it.
You don't. You think you do, but you don't.
No, you don't.
No,
you'll be disappointed.
No, I do.
Because it won't feel as good. You'll never be able to feel that dream.
But
Just like your dream of like jumping on a cloud, you'll never do that. Yeah,
whoa,
you'll be disappointed.
whoa.
You'll be disappointed. You'll just fall through. It's not Saw.
You don't know that. I mean,
I do know that.
Have you jumped on the cloud?
I know science. Third grade science taught me that clouds are
just
water.
Graduate high school.
I graduated high school 12 years ago.
Times change, old man.
Time does change, but
remember when Pluto was a planet?
Is it not a planet still?
It's not a planet.
Yeah, no, they took it
again.
Planet.
They went to give it, and then one guy was like, "Well, hold on now."
Oh, fuck that guy. Who is it?
Yeah.
Fighting him. I'm gonna send Ernest a Cat Miller at him.
See, that suit you just sent. That one looks like leathery.
But it's like it's a very that one's just in a bad shape. That's like so basically he ended up like wrestling in a karate gi, but he made it different like Wildcat prints. So he's basically in just like a karate gi, but said I'm gonna make it look like a tiger, or I'm gonna make it look like a leopard,
a cat of sorts,
big cat. It's just like, like this is him next to his manager at the time, Sonny Ono, and it's like Sonny Ono is in. That's a lot of fabric. He's wearing his suit jacket that is too big for him.
That's literally me with any like non-small sizes.
Dorky's wearing a medium hoodie, and it's like, oh, look, it's a dress.
Yeah, it's like on my knees. It's
a dress. Awesome. I'm wearing a large one. I'm tripping over the sleeves. Yeah.
Rolling around in it.
Like, I can't. He's a good dresser. I will not be the one to tell him that he does not dress good. Because I don't want him to kick my face.
Yeah, well, guess what? I'm not either.
Look at us being smart. But yeah, like I said, 40 sexual innuendos or boner jokes basically. He's got to keep his head in it. Like Mark Madden is on the call, and he's just terrible at being a wrestling announcer, and he's got like 20 of them by himself. It was a 3-man booth, and he's by himself doing 20. He's like, hey, like he didn't see that one coming.
How many of those that you think they had written down?
I think all of them were. I think all of them were.
Think so?
I don't think any of those people were talented enough to come up with them.
What you're saying is all fake, huh?
Oh,
that's what you're telling me?
Son of a bitch. Son of a.
Still real to me, damn it.
Yeah, no. The fucking they're 100%. All of them were written down. I don't even think they got all the ones that they written down. They probably had more.
Probably had to scratch out a couple.
They probably were like, that one's a little racy, But like he's like they're like I think it's the first time that Shane Douglas is climbing. There's like 2 different shaft jokes. He's just got to race up the shaft. He's got to get a good grip on that shaft. Like I'm like,
you literally never say the word shaft.
No,
ever.
No. Like that's a pole. It's literally pole. It's right there. It's a pole. It's in the name of the match, but you got to call it a shaft because people go, ha ha ha, shaft.
Oh,
yeah.
I was sitting here listening. I'm like, what are they talking?
We're talking about penises, Johnner.
Yeah, come on.
Wait,
man.
What? Penises.
Oh, I was off.
Yeah, no. The like, and this is why like WCW is just not in 2000 not a good place to be a worker at, because like that wasn't. I think like maybe that was the only like wild match at that for that day, but like they told that story in 3 days. Like, or three shows, right? It's like, oh, hey, sex tape with Billy Kidman, where like they're just under the covers and they're moving under the covers, and then 2 days later they're doing the Shane Douglas where he just can't get it up, and then Viagra on a pole. Like I don't think that ended up leading to anything. I don't think they had like an actual match or anything. that year. Those two at the following pay-per-view. I think that was Bash at the Beach 2000. I think. No, because it would have been after. So whatever was after that, New Blood Rising in August. Oh no, they did. They had a strap match. There we go. So they ended up having a more understandable and useful match in being a strap match. But yeah, there's no reason they had to do that. The other thing that was like, so when we were watching it, listeners, there was a tease for the following match was going to be a hardcore. What the fuck was it? A hardcore women's hardcore
something.
match. I think.
Yeah.
And between Major Guns and Miss Hancock, and it's like, yeah, no more innuendos. But they end up having a match at this same event in a mud rip off the clothes match. So they just had a mud match. You know, mud wrestling. They just because 2000s, that's what they do.
Just innocent mud wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't say innocent.
Yeah,
innocent mud wrestling.
Innocent. Yep.
You did not watch women's wrestling back then. Yeah.
I just end up I'm watching. I've been watching the this like era of WCW, and it's just been terrible. But it's great to go to sleep to. I was just watching one episode where they basically in an effort to get somebody away from another guy, they're like, I'll make a call to Vince McMahon. I'll get you on Raw tomorrow. Like, you'll be on SmackDown. You'll be you'll be in time to be on SmackDown this week. And it's like, Jesus, that's a terrible idea to be talking actively about how this person who is apparently running the company is terrible, and that you're going to be helping your competitor. Like, what the fuck? So it's just not a good time to be a WCW fan or a WCW wrestler at this time. But Jesus, like, not good. Not good stuff. Any other matches involving items that, like, conceivably we could make the item on a pole match better? Like, we've done the iron lung, we've done medicine on a pole. Like, we figured out how to do a cocaine on the pole. You know, it's just actually on the pole. It's not like a baggie or anything.
Your car keys on a pole? Do you want to go home tonight?
We only get one car, you know. The other guy's not. The other one has to figure out they got to hitchhike.
Your child on a pole?
See, before Uber was a thing. Child on a pole.
Sorry. It came to me.
Oh, jeez. My dad probably would have just actively walked away from that match.
Wouldn't even show up to the match.
He wouldn't even have shown up to the match. But yeah, Jesus. Yeah, but no, before Uber was a thing, Dorky, people you would have to call ahead for a taxi cab.
What?
Yeah, it was kind of like an Uber, except you had to call a company, and then you were told that they didn't have anybody for you, so you had to be like thumbing it. You had to walk around the street and ask for rides from strangers. And and parents would tell you not to go in cars with strangers, which is hilarious nowadays because Uber. Or don't go into a stranger's house, Airbnb. So.
Oh, Airbnb, they're not living there. Well, I mean, I guess they could come back at any time.
Yeah.
So, I understand.
Yeah. The difference a decade makes. Dorky's living or going to college. I couldn't imagine going to college with like Uber and like just everything now. Like, I'm kind of happy I went, even though I was depressed and wasn't there long anyways. But like it's like so much. I feel like it would be so much more fun, which is dangerous sometimes. But
Probably would be. My school, it was trending because a picture was like leaked of like one of the parties, and like no masks were seen.
Oh
So like
boy.
we had the CDC apparently come to like the party like 2 days ago, and they were like, yeah, the CDC's here, so we're not sure if they're gonna be like in uniform or like out of uniform, so make sure y'all wear y'all masks or else we might get like sent home.
I know. So, like, and the other thing that's like weird that's going on, like West Virginia, is de-enrolling or what is it? Not enrolling, but the opposite of enrolling. They're basically kicking out students from classes that don't have vaccines.
Mm.
They're basically like, if you're not vaccinated, you can't attend class. And I'm like,
Good.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, good.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
think my school's trying to get everyone vaccinated, and if they're not by a certain point or don't have proof of like the first dose by a certain point, they get sent back or something.
look, that's that shit. Like, you want to play stupid games and you want to make it, look, you have a right to not get vaccinated. If you feel like you don't need to get vaccinated, or for whatever, sure, be an idiot, don't get vaccinated,
but go home.
but don't expect anybody to want your ass around.
Yeah,
because it's not like it's, and people are like, well, I'm not going to expose, if everyone around me has the vaccine, then I'm fine, because I can't give it to them, or if I give it to them, it's like, no, you dumbass, you can get it. Like, they don't understand. Like, they'll be,
and you can still spread it with having the vaccine. You can still have it. You might have the effects, but you'll still have it.
So it's like, oh, hey, here are these people who are responsible and have been proven to be responsible by getting a vaccine. Can we do a vaccine on a pole match? But like, it's between two people who do not want to be vaccinated, but they really, really want to win.
No, you make it to where you have to vaccinate the other person.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you gotta put the shot.
Yeah, that's the other. So I forgot about this, but now I remember this. There's a variation of the item on the pole match, Dorky, and it's that you can use the item. It's still a regular match where you pin somebody, you make them submit or whatever, but you can once somebody gets the weapon down, they can use it, but only they can use it.
Right.
So
which means that the entire match is every pinfall, every submission before, because you're like, well, they're gonna have to use the weapon.
Yeah.
They're not gonna say, here's a thing on a pole, and then just have a normal match.
It's like the old 3 stages of hell match, where they're like, here's these 3 matches that we're gonna have to do, and the third one is if necessary. It's like, oh, okay, so we're definitely going to have that match. But like the vaccine on a pole match, where you have to get it down.
But like tea party on the pole, you gotta like set up a whole tea party, like pour tea for all your guests and take a sip, and then you win.
Oh boy!
I think we should write wrestling.
Yeah, we should just do a show that's all items on a pole matches, but it's like tea party on a pole, vaccine on a pole. It's 2 anti-vaxxers, and they have to get to win. They have to vax the other person.
Something
do
different.
The
each
commons man's wrestling, like you just bring normal people who have different circumstances, and they gotta fight over something on the pole.
Yeah, like, oh. Like, my brain, because of people like Vince McMahon, made me think of like asthma on a pole, or inhaler on a pole between 2 asthmatics. Like, one of you are going to have an asthma attack during this match.
What about Twitter on a pole? The winner gets to delete the other person's.
Can it be me versus like Twitch? Can I not even that? Can I just delete Twitch off the internet right now?
Oh,
like the whole platform. We'll delete it off and we'll rebuild it better.
Well, they have no reason to accept this match. It's like, where are we gonna get? You can't, post your podcast. Oh, I guess you know what? That's a good hero story.
You're losing a streamer. Yeah. What do you mean?
That's a good way to end season 1 of Dork Side.
Yeah, is me versus Emmett Shear in a deletion on a pole match. I win if I can delete Twitter or Twitch.
Well, that's why you lose, and then
Yeah.
That's when you come back for season 2 because the matches don't actually matter.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of the funniest things that I can think of that would be on a poll is like kind of in line with the child on a pole.
A puppy. A puppy on a pole.
A puppy on a pole. But the objective is not just to get the puppy off the pole. It is also to put so it's a combo match. It's an allergy on the pole match. So one person is allergic to dogs and one person is allergic to cats. And they have to get the
whoever makes the other one have an allergy attack first wins.
Yep, basically.
Who could commit murder first?
It's basically
peanut on a pole and it's 2 people with severe allergies to peanuts.
Oh jeez. See, that's why you
force the other person to eat it.
You each get rubber gloves. Like there's rubber gloves on the pole as well, so you don't
Oh yeah, the outside of the ring's just full of like different things. People are like, oh my god, there's seafood over there. Is that crab?
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's
not the crayfish.
It's a goddamn crustacean. Damn it.
Is that beehive? There's a guy next to it in a bee suit.
Yeah, we might as well just do an entire.
No,
event.
not the pollen. Oh god.
It's just that's the entire. Yeah, no, that's the one. Maybe we won't go as extreme as death allergies, but it's like it's
flower bed match.
Flower.
It's put a ring and then outside of it's just nothing but flowers. And...
Yep. And they're like, oh, they just release a bunch of, and you're like, oh my god, tree jizz. You guys see that there was a video floating around, a little bit ago, talking about like a specific tree, and like how pollen has become. Or, how pollen is, causing allergies. It's just tree jizz. Except it used to just be, like, the one sex of tree that would release the seed, like the pollen. And now both sexes release it because they are that, like hung up for survival.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it doubled. It's like, why are pollen levels so high? It's like, oh, because... evolution and these trees that that are spreading seed, they're not just male trees, like female trees are as well, or vice versa, whatever it used to be. And I'm like, this is good. Look at us, man. Like humanity on a pole match. Like this is great.
Well, that's how we end humanity.
Yeah. One person will be fighting for humanity. The other person afterwards will dunk humanity into a ball of fire.
David and Goliath match. Mm-hmm. You want to get on the pole to get away from the lion.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's a good one, right? It's a good variation.
Pushing the other person into the pit.
The pole is the escape.
Yeah, the pole is the escape. You gotta get up on it. Yeah.
Oh, I like that, Dorky. Just have like the outside just full of snakes, but the ring's slowly descending, so that the snakes get at feet level, and you want to get on the pole.
Yeah. And at a certain point, the snakes start sinking.
A tank one where you're in a water tank that's slowly filling up. You gotta get to the top.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
The escape room match.
An escape room one would.
An escape room one would be.
Stop an escape room while in the middle of the match.
That's 100%.
They have to stop for a second and work together, and then the next moment
they start beating the fuck out of each other. You guys, either of you have seen that basically the escape room horror movies? I forget what the fuck it's called.
Yeah, the Room? Is it The Room? Something like that. I've seen that one.
Well, The Room is something different, but I think it's something similar. Trap Room?
Wasn't there one where it was a game show, and society was you had to survive. I saw a commercial recently.
Wait, sorry, it's literally called Escape Room. That's
yeah.
That's, yeah, it's literally called Escape Room.
Yeah, and it was they were tricked into something, and they ended up there, and then it was crazy, and all to work together.
Yeah, but they're all
okay,
but they're all related to each other somehow.
Yeah, like they like all know each other some way or another, something like that.
I think it had to do with like some like arson thing, like or maybe I'm confusing that with like Saw movies, but like one person's like the guy who set fire to the house. One person is the person who didn't call the cops. Some person who is the DA who dropped it. The cop who didn't, who got rid of evidence and shit like that. And it's like, well, yeah, obviously the cop did that. Like they deserve this. Everybody else, I don't know, pal. But yeah, it's like escape room on a pole, and it's on a pole. Like that's the thing; it has to be on a pole. So, and
Steph could just push the whole ring over the edge.
Yeah.
Just imagine
it's not balanced; just fall and just crash.
I'm just really, really looking forward to the vaccination on a pole match. Between anti-vaxxers to see how desperate there will be to not be vaxxed. Like, how far would you go to not be vaxxed? Would you go as far as to being like if you win, you never have to get vaccinated? Like,
it's also a lumberjack match, but instead of wrestlers, it's doctors with the vaccine.
Get away! Get away!
You can't run away from the match.
You do like a globe on the pole and like take two flat earthers and then you have to make the other one like hold the globe and like
acknowledge that this is what you have to say that this is
what was it? Clorox?
On
a pole. You have two people who are like germaphobes.
Basically, that's it. I think we're gonna
Purell
on pole. The pole, but the thing is, they have to hold the pole to get to the Purell, and so they're freaking out. They're like, "No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that." Has the pole been sanitized? It's like, no, you have to get the Purell to sanitize it. Like, Jesus Christ! Like, I'm thinking about like conspiracy theory, other like lizard people on a pole, like
tinfoil on a pole, so you can protect the brainwaves.
Obviously, yeah, that's your opening match. It's a classic. With the lumberjacks, Dr. Jacks? What would that be? Lumberjacks, lumberdoctors, lumberdocs, lumberdocs. I feel like would be
Dr. Lumberjacks,
Dr. Lumberjacks, Lumberjacks MD. There we go.
Oh, I like that. Hey,
Lumberjacks MD match. And you're like, oh, you're anti-vax. Okay, don't get thrown out of the ring, otherwise you're gonna get stabbed with the vaccine.
Yeah, that's something like the wrestlers go out to the ring, and then like right before it starts, then a manager comes out. Oh, did I forget to mention that the ring will be, filled with doctors?
Doctors, yeah.
Okay.
Modern medicine, scientists that can prove climate change is negatively affecting the world. No. It's like the biggest. It's just it's a QAnon like just nightmare event.
Let me out.
Get in there all under the guise that it's a Trump, event, and then everything gets turned on. It's like, oh, you get to wrestle this guy. That guy across from you, he's vaccinated. He's pro-vax. Just tell each guy who are both anti-vax. Don't listen to whatever he says. And just because they're gullible enough. They're dumb that if I just make a couple of Facebook posts by them, they make them look like it, they'll believe it. Which again goes back to what a difference a decade makes. Like, I feel like 10 years ago we were still being told don't believe everything you hear on TV or now it's like don't believe everything you read on the internet. It's wild how times have changed.
But yeah, it's still kind of the same.
It really is. It's just
changed the name.
Yep. But it's different because now we're telling our parents not to. Like when they were the ones who were like, oh, you should,
Ma, please just get vaccinated. Never.
Yeah. No.
When I was a kid, I drank out of the hose.
What does that have to do with a global pandemic? I'm fine. Like I drank. See, Dorky. This is something that me and you, John, have over Dorky. Dorky will never have the original Four Loko formula.
So I never actually drank the original
Really?
I never got into Four Lokos. I wasn't really a heavy drinker until after high school, really.
Gotcha. Well, I feel like they So, like, I feel like I didn't really get into... Neither did I. Like, I didn't drink until college, really. But the original Four Loko formula was still out. And then while I was in college is when they were like, yeah, there's, like, actual gasoline in here. What the fuck, guys?
Yeah, I just drank liquor. I didn't...
No, I always ended the night with a Four Loko. That's...
You ended a night on a Four Loko?
Yeah, why not?
What do you mean, why not? It was a Four Loko. That's a starter.
No? Because if I started with one, I wouldn't remember what the rest of the night held for me.
What was the point?
Yeah, I want to remember it. So everything after that point, I don't want to remember how I got home. I want to remember how the party went. I want to remember upper decking a frat house.
That explains a lot.
Good Lord. All right, well, let's get out of here because it is Saturday night, and at least one of us has, a nightlife ahead of themselves. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are up to after this. I'm just going to assume that Dorky, being in college on a Saturday, has potential outings to go, new people to meet. But I think you have things as well, John. So I'll get you guys out of here. Old
man things.
Oh, yes, old man things for Johnner. Lasting impression of the Viagra on a pole match. Johnner, you first.
Lasting impressions?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm now just going to wonder how horny kids were actually. Like, how much of it was science and how much of it was just nature? I'll never be the same.
Never be the same. What about you, Dorky?
I think the match specifically probably the whole ending, like the shattering and then him picking it up in the ref, turning around, like all funny. I think that part will stick with me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think for me, it's been a while since I've seen it. Rewatching it, the lasting sequence of like Billy Kidman taking it down while the ref has been distracted for 17 minutes. Where he's just like, I'm just gonna have a casual conversation with Tori Wilson, sure, and I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna call that and the referee's terrible goatee. That was a disgustingly thick black goatee on a bald man.
It's very dark.
I'm gonna change my answer. It's definitely gonna be the goatee.
That goatee, like I said, he looks like the lead singer of Stained.
He was definitely an NSYNC at one point.
Which, by the way, like. The lead singer of Stained and like the lead singer of Disturbed, I just felt were always the same person because they were both bald white guys with goatees.
I mean, that was the 2000s.
Not everybody looked like that.
Well,
Bowling for Soup didn't look like that.
Yeah, but
Korn didn't look like that. I'm trying to think of who else in like the 2000s. Nickelback, Chad Kroeger didn't look like that.
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah,
he had.
He had a hat. He had a hat though. Fred Durst had a hat. You know, we're just sitting here naming musical acts that Dorky's like, I don't know. Nickelback.
Like, okay,
I know.
boomers.
Yeah, like God. Speaking of boomers, let's boom our way out of here. I don't know. 5 out of 10.
We tried.
Not even.
Cool. All right, Dorky. Where can the people find you, and whatnot?
They can find me Twitch.tv, TheDorkyOwl. Probably never in a while. Not in the short run, but I mean sometimes. And you can see me on Tilly.
There you go.
Twitch.tv/Grumm.
What? No. Well, I sometimes.
You might see me there sometimes.
Yeah, Tilly, it's streams.tilly.tv is when we're live.
Hazard, yeah.
It's a hazard on. I wanted to make sure before I said that on Monday and Wednesdays, and then occasional special episodes. I guess sometimes. Johnner, what about you? Where can the people find you?
Twitch.tv/Johnner1223 for all the great roleplay that I don't do.
Now, mind you, that's Johnner, JHONNER, not JOHNEER. We misspell. We misspell it around here.
Or maybe it was a big brain play, and it was
Good branding.
I don't have to explain myself
Just like Shirley. Spelling of Shirley.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm here with two Shirleys.
Listen. Oh, stay hydrated, dudes.
Yeah, stay hydrated.
Drink water.
Yeah, drink water. Wash your hands. Wear your mask.
Wash your ass.
Wash your ass. Wash your calves. Make sure the people you're in a dorm, right, Dorky?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you shame the people who do not wash their calves.
Wouldn't do such.
I'll make sure.
You let them know that I said that they better be washing their fucking calves.
Or else.
Or else. Start the good habits now.
We know where you are.
No, we don't. But I don't think I'll ever know these kids. But they need to wash their ass and their calves. And you too, listener, you have to listen. You have to wash your.
Yes, you listening.
Yeah,
right now.
Go wash yourself right now. You know what? We'll stay here. Go start the shower. Go start it up. Make sure it's nice and a little warm. Maybe a little hot if you like it hot. A little
steaming
cool.
hot.
Steaming hot.
Yes,
Dorky says.
You gotta kill the germs.
Gotta kill the germs.
The hot.
Yep. Get some soap.
Gotta come out of there red.
Yeah. Nice.
So you know you clean.
Yeah. Brush. Scrub yourself. Your calves raw. That's how you know you'll be nice and clean.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do that.
Layer.
We'll be here. We'll be here when you come back. It's like 5-10 minutes. We'll be here when you guys come back. We'll wait for you.
You didn't get the ears, did you?
No, you didn't get the ears. You dirtball. No, I get the ears too. No, a lot of people don't do behind the ears, and it shows.
Did you get in between your toes? Not just washing on top of it. You gotta get in between the toes.
Gotta get on the. Did you get the bottom of your feet?
Is that dirt in your fingernails?
Tisk tisk. Tisk tisk, listener. I want to say, I think from now on, I'm going to say I have the cleanly, after this episode, that I will have the cleanliest listeners of any wrestling podcast. So, which isn't that high of a bar to clear, but it's still a nice little thing to say. It's a nice little.
Why don't you want to listen to this podcast while getting clean?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Why? Just listen to, I don't care what you, look, you could probably, I know that people
tell us.
Look, I'm a streamer. We all stream. We know that sometimes people watch us while they're pooping.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't.
Yeah,
you didn't know, you think people.
Because then they're going to get on their phone.
I mean.
What do you do when you use the bathroom?
Yeah, when you're pooping, how do you poop? With your butt?
You just stare at the wall?
Yeah. No, you just you just deal with it. I can't.
You read a book?
You're in college and I have to explain how to poop.
I'm not in college. I need to know how you poop. We'll make sure I'm doing it right. All right. I'm just cross-referencing. You're like a year or two older. I need to make sure if once you hit 30, if you poop differently, I notice that I get when I get up my back cracks. I'm like, wow, I can't sit for too long anymore. Just in general, I'll be sitting in a chair. I'm like, oh man, my back's stiff. That's not good. It's like I just I had my face smashed into Viagra pills in the middle of a ring by a bad acting woman. She's not a bad actor. She was in that moment. She was acting bad though. All right, you should be clean by now, listener. Thank you for washing your calves. Maybe even doing behind your ears.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
We're proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you for cleaning yourself. See? It's not that hard. Just do that all the time. Thank you guys for coming on. Thanks for the last little bit there of making sure my listeners get cleaned. I can't wait for the next time you guys are on. That is TheDorkyOwl, and that is Johnner1223, otherwise known as Johnner, and otherwise known as Dorky. No, the name of this podcast was not named after Dorky.
It was.
No,
it was.
Me and Dorky in talks to make sure she gets her money. I'll be a lawyer. We've all played lawyers enough.
God damn it.
We will definitely be taking this to meme court.
Great. You guys take me to meme court. Bio takes me to meme court over this. It's not good. Not good. I'm going to court too often. I got to beat these charges. Thank you guys for hanging out, though. I really do appreciate it. And love you guys.
Have a lovely day.
I want to thank once again Dorky Owl and Johnner for coming on to the podcast and enlightening us with their personalities, their insight, their humor. I have listened to this podcast once or twice back through for editing purposes, obviously, and every time the Viagra drug circle of high school boys comes up, and it makes me laugh every time, because it's just like, what do you do? Like, you're just that bored? And it's not like, I said it before, it's not like, this was like 20 years ago when Viagra first came out. No, this was last year. These boys were doing this. They were taking boner pills last year, 2020. They were bored, sitting at home, doing teleschooling, sitting on the Zooms, and they were just bored, and that's what they did. You just can't, maybe they, by the end of the year they were in person again. Who knows? All I know is wild stuff. Also, some of the poll. What was your? If you could do me a favor, go to Dork Side Ring on Twitter, and tweet at me. Tweet at me there, or tweet at me at I am Grumm, and tweet. Well, also tweet at the podcast. Definitely tweet at the podcast. You can include me. But if you could book a item on a pole match, any of it, like we did the vaccine on a pole, and you have to take it down and put the vaccine into your opponent, so that this way you'll never have to get it. Those ideas, tea party on a pole, a whole bunch of ideas. What? Give me. I want to hear you, the creatures of the Dork Side. I don't know if creatures is good. We'll work on that. We're workshopping on that. Fans of the Dork Side, listeners of the Dork Side, when you guys hear this, let me know what you think of what would be your fantasy item on the poll match. So you do that. Go over to Twitter at Dork Side Ring. It's the same @ for Instagram. Follow both of them if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at I am Grumm. Grumm.tv for other additional content. And if you haven't already, go to the Apple Podcast Store. Even if you're listening to Spotify or Google Podcasts, if you have an iPhone, you can do this. Go to the Apple Podcast app. Go for the Dork Side of the Ring podcast and rate it 5 stars. Leave a review. I will read on a future episode of the Dork Side of the Ring. Speaking of that, next week we have ourselves a fun little one. I did a nice little bit of some nice recording over the last week or so, and next week we've got a fun. It's a fun one. My friends Bask and Pat, that Duff guy, Pat Duff's a different person in my life, but that Duff guy Pat coming in. We're gonna talk about the milk bath. Both Bask and Pat never seen. They're not big into wrestling, so they only know. They've heard stories. They've seen the gifs of the milk bath from Kurt Angle onto the WCW ECW alliance. We talk about that next week here on the Dork Side of the Ring. Again, thank you so much for coming and joining me inside the Dork Side of the Ring. I can't wait to see you guys next week. And remember, don't take wrestling too seriously, because wrestling is a lot more fun when no one's taking it seriously. Love you guys. Thank you so much for coming to another episode, and I'll see you right here on Dork Side of the Ring.